Tips for disposing of a numismatic estate. You can't take it with you. I read recently that 5,700 baby boomers die every day. Of that total, I'll bet a good number of them were coin collectors, and I wonder how many made proper plans for the disposition of their collections. This is Coins Rock. Stay tuned as I explain how to handle a numismatic estate. When determining how to dispose of a coin collection, the first consideration usually is to determine if a child or grandchild has an interest in the collection. Passing a collection on to someone who has no interest or knowledge is not doing them a favor. Perhaps the heirs would rather have the cash value instead, in which case it might make sense for the collector, who knows more about the collection than any heir, should consider selling most or all of his collection during his lifetime. One possible downside to selling a large collection is the taxes on the gain. Coin profits are taxed as high as 28% on long-term capital gains. However, if coins are included in an estate, as long as the estate is under $12.9 million, not only is there no estate tax, but also the value of the collection gets what's known as a step-up in basis, meaning if the collection is sold after being in the estate, there is no capital gains tax. If coins are to be passed on to an heir, there are several things to consider. First, and most basic, you need a will. A surprisingly large number of people do not have wills. Without a will when you die, it is known as intestate, and the courts appoint an administrator to handle your estate. If the administrator decides to liquidate the collection, they have the right to do so. Assuming you have a will and a named executor, you should leave a separate letter of instructions to your executor. The letter should first include information about the location of the collection. Is it in a safe deposit box? If so, include the address of the bank and the location of the key. Is it in a home safe? The combination would be helpful to avoid getting a locksmith to drill the safe open. Or is it hidden under a loose floorboard in a closet? An approximate value would also be helpful. Is it $10,000 or $100,000? And if the heirs decide to sell, who should they contact? Also, who should be used to do an appraisal for estate purposes? Too many of us have heard horror stories of someone inheriting a collection without any knowledge and ending up selling it for pennies on the dollar. It would also be helpful for the executor and beneficiaries if you leave an inventory of the collection. There are various software programs you can use, or an Excel spreadsheet, or something as simple as 3x5 cards. You should include basic information on the coin, such as the price paid, condition, and current value. What I've covered here are just some of the basics, and this is not to be considered either legal or tax advice. If you need a will or to update a will, you should consult with an attorney. Don't try to do it yourself. Also, consult with a tax professional before selling and incurring a large gain. Most importantly, talk with your family to see what kind of interest they have. Do they want your collection, or would they prefer the cash value? While this is the topic many people do not want to talk about, ignoring it is not a good strategy. Hopefully, I've given you food for thought. If so, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thank you.